like to okay, talk about one very, very important AWS service right now, sir. Now, what is that? Now, whatever I taught until now is absolutely wrong. All the topics are wrong if you don't understand one topic. Most of the people did not answer that one. Actually, you would have answered it. So, what is the topic is very, very important, sir. This is my network. This is server number 1. This is server number 2. This is server number 3. I mentioned server number 1, 2, and 3 can communicate to each other. Yes or no? Yes? Absolutely wrong. How they can communicate to each other, sir? Let's talk about secondary thing. So this is 10.0.0.1, 0.2, 0. What is that? 3. 3 systems, 3 IP address are assigned. I told all 3 servers are local IP address, local server, 3 servers are communicating. First of all, it's debatable. Second one, can you please tell me, here I want to type google.com. This request will go to where? NAT? How do you believe that one? That is also absolutely wrong. Got it, right? So I'm telling a very let's go and answer in a very simple way. Very simple, sir. So I am asking you, you are at your home. Okay. Hey, in your home, let us take an example, any name. Akhil is there. Okay. Akhil is in his home. And I'm asking, Akhil, please bring glass of a water. Where he will go? Kitchen? He will go to kitchen? Yes or no? Glass of a water, he will go to the kitchen. Now I'm asking the same question to Akhil. Akhil, please give me a glass of a petrol. Where he will go? In his house or outside? Why is going outside? Petrol is not there. Where it is registered? Because Akhil is having a brain. In the brain it is registered where to go. Okay, glass of a water, simply it will go into your memory and it will say glass of water means kitchen. So let's go to the kitchen. If you ask 1 liter of petrol, 1 liter of petrol, array it is not there. I have to go outside. Gate number 1, gate number from 1 kilometer I have to go. There the petrol is there. You are a human being. You know where to go. What about network, sir? How did you believe? Here I type google.com, right? The request will go to where? How it will go? His server number 1 is having a brain.
We need to
is it having any brain?
We need to configure the S1 IP into NAT.
No. Are you able to understand, right? So the question comes into picture is how this communication is happening. So that is the most important topic, very important topic. Everyone knows the topic. I tell the word, you'll say, I know. But it's very, very deep. That is called as
routing.
What is that? Have you heard about routing, router? What is the purpose of your router? In your home, you have a router, right? What is a router? It is a router. Actually, it is telling where to go. It is helping you to go where to go. Actually, so you have a routing where, as someone has mentioned, route table. Yes, you need in networking, you have something called as a route table. In the table, you will mention this server has to go to where, how, what. Then that server will follow the steps. Is it clear, right? Where to go? Now, server number 1, if I want to communicate to 10.0.0.2, it should go and search inside or outside. From 10.0.0.1, I want to go to 10.0.0.3. It has to inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside only, right? How do you mention? So those things you will go and create something called as very, very important. What is that? What is that? Route table. You will create something called as route table and tell there. What do you tell there? Very simple, sir. So can you tell me this server is starting with which IP address? Private IP address. What is the IP address?
10.0.
What is this?
Pri-
10.0,
Private IP.
right? When you are
Yeah.
creating a network, what is your series? 10.0.0.0 by 16. You mentioned it, right? So what is the meaning of 16? 65,000 servers can fit here, right? All the server starts with what IP address? No.
10.
One more thing. So 16 means what? How many bits are fixed? 2 bits are there. All the IP address are with all the IP address when I create it will start with 10.0. In the route table, I'll say anyone is searching for any IP address in this range. So this server is in this range, yes or no? Is yes or no? This server is in this range. All 10.0, all are in this range. Anyone is typing any IP address 10.0 in this range. Don't go anywhere. Please search. Where is that? Where is that? Locally. Locally. Like for your example, I'll go and create server number 4. What is the IP address of server number 4? 10.0.0. What is that? 4. Now let us take an example from this server number 1. You want to connect to server number 4. You type 10.0.0.4. What will happen? This server will go into the route table and check it out. Hey, I want to go to 10.0.0.4. 10.0.0.4 means what? Is it coming in this range? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
So that means it has to search where? Local.
Local.
Local means what? Inside, not
Inside.
outside. Now you tell me in this server, I want to type what is that? Google.com. Google.com IP address is what?
11 times thing.
Click.
Is it 10 series? No.
No.
Some public IP address, right? Let us take an example. 143.250 it is starting. So now if you type google.com, now what is, okay, google.com 143.250. What is facebook.com? What is amazon.com? What is microsoft.com? What is ibm.com? What is amazonprime.com? netflix.com? Lot of IP addresses are, right? Then how do I mention? I can mention any other IP address, any other series, or any, or this is the meaning of, what is that? What is that? Any
Yeah.
IP address except what series? 10 series. When you type, please send it to. Is it clear? Like for your example, you type google.com. What is Google IP address? 143.250. So the request will go here and check it out. Is it 140.253? First one. Is it 10? Is it starting with 10, right? It's not 143. It will say, oh, I should ignore it. Next one. Any other IP address for 143 comes under that any other. It will send it to where? NAT. You type facebook.com. Where it will send? NAT. IBM.com. Anything, it will go and send it to NAT. This route table, you will create it and attach it to this network. Now all the servers will follow this route table and identify where to go. Then whether it has to go to the NAT, whether it has to go locally, it will go for it route table. Is it clear? Route table. Please write it down. What is a route table? Routing information is provided so that your network will follow that instructions. Okay, routing details are provided so that your network follows these rules and regulations. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions? Clear? Fine. Okay, so route table. we will go and create a route table and attach to wherever you want. Now onwards, it will follow the rules and regulations. Let us take an example. Server number 1 wants to communicate to server number 2. It will type from here, from here, server number 4, it will type 10.0.0.2. So 10 dot, whenever you type it, it will go to the route table. 10 series, it will go and check it. This entire series, where it has to go? Local. It will not go outside. This server will go and search inside where is the 10 series, and it will find out and it will communicate. Now you type here 11.4.1.1. So what will happen? It will go here. Is it 11? No. Is it comes under 11? Everything is comes under 11. It will go and send it to where? NAT. So the request will go and communicate to NAT. NAT will go and communicate outside, get the data and get back to you. This is called as route table, one of the most important thing. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions? Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Online people, clear, sir?
Yes.
Anyone has any questions? Let me type route table. Okay, fine. Very, very, very important. So I go and create a route table. So until this point of time, we were talking about what is meant by internet. What is meant by internet, how, what, where it is going. Yes or no? Now we will jump into VPC. What is actual virtual private
Sir,
cloud? Yes, sir.
sir, it will go to the NAT only if it requires internet, no, sir? If it doesn't
Any
require
IP
any
address.
internet,
Internet means what? Can you tell me what is internet? Now let's take an example. What is internet?
public
IP.
it's a public,
Public
public
IP
IP.
address. Anything which is public IP address. What is public IP address? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All the series which I mentioned it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
One question is there, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, is there any requirement to need? Should we enter manually in routing table those
No, you
entries?
don't enter anything manual table when it is required. By default, when you create a VPC, it gets created route table, everything gets created. But tomorrow you want to customize it. My request, my Tata server should go, some of the servers should go to the Wipro router. Then you will edit the route table. Otherwise, no need.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Anyone has any questions? Fine. So if that is the case, now I'm asking one interview question, which I said I'll ask you again and again and again. Why VPC? Why VPC? What is the purpose of a VPC? Tell me,
Provide
guys.
to connect to provide a security and who is connect to our servers.
No, I don't want that definition. I said you one important thing. I asked you on Friday. I asked you on Saturday. I am asking you on Monday. Why VPC? I said I'll ask you on a daily basis until VPC is there. Why we went for VPC?
Sir, we can maintain private and public both, right,
Very
sir?
good.
On
Very good. I said you it will maintain private and public.
Public cloud.
Okay. You have both the stuff. I want to expose my server to the entire world. I don't want to expose my server to the entire world. I can do it. Is it clear, right? So it supports both. What is that? Public and private. So welcome to VPC. Now when I'm trying to create a VPC, VPC is a network, right? VPC is a network. So what is the size of the network? What is that? I'll go and mention 10.0.0.0 by what is that? 16. Okay, happy? Okay, this is my size. Now, why VPC? Again, once again, it supports public and private.
Private.
So you can divide your network into two pieces. If you divide your network, what do you call that one as? I have a network. I can cut network into multiple pieces. What is that?
Subnet.
Subnet. I can divide into two subnets. Okay. So what are those things? Please write it down. What is that? What is that? You have two types of subnets. What are you call it as? Public subnet and private subnet. Sir, why do you require two kind of subnets? Arey yaar, this is my private network. I want to expose one server to the entire world. Everyone in the world should connect to my server. I want to create a database. No one should connect it. So that is the reason I can have, what is that? Two subnet, private subnet and public subnet. So let us go one by one. What is meant by what is that? Public subnet. What is the meaning of a public subnet? So don't get confused anything. So let us take an example. Whenever I create a server here, so whenever I create server number one, what IP address will be assigned?
Public.
No, absolutely. There is nothing. As I mentioned you, every network in the world is, what is that? I told you 100 times. I told you Saturday also. There is a thumb rule. What is the thumb rule? Whenever you create a server, what IP address will be assigned? Private IP address will be assigned. Keep it in your mind forever. Don't confuse with the names and everything. Whenever you create a server in your network, what is the network size? 10.0.0.0 by 16. One of the IP address 10.0.0.4, 5, 6, 7. So whenever you create a server number one, it will be assigned with 10.0.0.0. Like one or anything like that one, right? So whenever you create any server, what IP address will be assigned? Keep it in your mind, private IP address at any cost. This server belongs to your VPC. So your VPC, what is the series? Example, 10 series that will be assigned to the system. Is it clear? At any cost. So whenever you create a server number one in public subnet, what IP address will be assigned? Private IP address. Sir, actually, why did you created a server in public subnet? Why did I create it? Sir, I want to expose this server to the entire world. I want everyone in the world to connect it. If that is the case, then you are going to assign another IP address to this system. What is that? Write it down. What is that? You are not only assigning private IP address, on top of this one, you are going to assign public IP address. Sir, how we are getting public IP address? None of your business. We will go through. So that is the beauty of cloud. I will assign server number one public IP address and I'll assign private IP address. Public IP address also I will assign. Okay. Second point. This is the first point. Keep it in your mind. Second point. Whenever you assign public IP, did I assign public IP address? Yes or no? Whenever you assign public IP address, this server number one by default will get internet. Write it down. What is that? Please write it down. Whenever a public IP address is assigned in public subnet, whenever a public IP address is assigned in public subnet, that server will automatically get internet. That server will automatically get internet. It will by default get internet. Is it clear, right? Are you able to understand, right? So by default, it will get internet. Can you tell me what is an entry and exit point of a network? Gateway. So even in AWS also, please write it down. You have IGW, Internet Gateway. Anything which has to go outside internet, anything which has to go inside the anyone has to come through internet, you have IGW, Internet Gateway. Is it clear, right? You have internet gateway. So now tell me, as an example, then for this one, how it will work, I'll go and create something called as route table 1. I'll create a route table run, and what should I do? Now tell me here. I'll create another server here too. If I go and create here, what IP address will be assigned?
Right.
Private IP address will be assigned. Okay. Now this server should communicate to this server locally. So what I will do, all the IP address are in the series of 10 series. If you type anything, go to local. This server number 1 is already having internet. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
There is no need for you need to do any internet, but internet means where it has to go. I'll tell it. Anything you type google.com, facebook.com, amazon.com, please send it to what is that? This is the route table you will create for public subnet. Write it down. So this is one. What is meant by public subnet? Public subnet is nothing but what is meant by public subnet? Public subnet is nothing but a place where you want to expose your servers to the world. Okay. So example, you will create server number 1. Whenever you create a server number 1, it will be assigned with private IP address. Actually, why are you creating a server number 1? Because server number 1 in public subnet, I want to expose that server to the world. So what do? Server number 1, you will assign private IP address plus public IP address. Whenever you assign a public IP address server number 1, it will have, by default, it will have internet. So, but what is the route table you have it? You will create a route table 1 and attach to public subnet. 10 series has to go to local, but server number 1, if you type google.com, facebook.com, amazon.com, it is already having internet. So, but where it has to go? It has to go through IGW. From IGW, it will go outside and get the request. So this is the way you create your public subnet. Anyone has any questions, please tell me.
Sir, NAT server, what it can do in this scenario? NAT server.
We'll talk about it. You should answer it. I don't know anything, sir. Now, please tell me what is private subnet. You tell me, use your mind and tell me what is private subnet. Tell me what is private subnet.
We can access network only within VPC.
Why I need a private subnet? Now you tell me, you understood public subnet, right? You tell me what is private subnet. Why do you have a private subnet? Tell me.
So important and sensitive data for maintaining, sir.
So
like
what? So
database servers maintain for database
okay. So what? So what is private subnet? Means what? Means
only specific persons only access the private subnet, not everyone.
Yeah. So what should I do? Tell me, sir. See the diagram, see the content and everything, and tell
Routing. We need to configure the routing table.
Array, sir. Everything in the world I have to configure the routing, sir. What is private subnet? Yes, Hussein, you are also correct. Connect internally. See the difference between public subnet and tell me what is private subnet.
We can connect directly to the public internet servers.
No, sir. Correct, madam. Thank you, madam. Only if, what is that?
Private.
Just compare it and tell me, sir. Here, what do you have here? Whenever I create a server, private IP address. Then to expose the server to the world, I am assigning public IP address. Private subnet is a place where I don't want to expose my servers to the world. If you don't want to expose your servers to the world, then why are you assigning public IP address? Don't assign. Only what IP address I'm assigning? Only private IP address. Only example 10.0.10.4. It's a private IP address. They can communicate within the network, not outside. Now, if I don't assign any public IP address, what I will not get by default?
Internet.
Yes, no internet. Very good. So there is no internet by default. Default no internet. No internet, are you happy?
No.
No, I am very happy. No internet, I am very happy. Why? No internet, no virus. As simple as this one. If I want to make this computer the best secure computer in the world, entire world, what should I do? Remove the internet, that's it. No one in the world can connect it here. No number one hacker, no one, nothing can do anything. As simple as that one. Are you able to understand, sir? But now that server number 2 I will ask, I need internet. I want to download some patches. I want to download that, this and anything. I don't have internet. I need internet. Now tell me, if private subnet don't have any internet, to have internet, what should I do?
Public subnet.
That will come into picture. Very good. So to get internet, write it down. To get internet in private subnet, I will go and introduce one component called as, what is that? NAT. Is it clear, right? Now, can you remember? Can you go back and remember? Can you go back and remember? NAT should be assigned with what IP address? Go back to NAT and check it out.
Public and private.
Public, both public and private I have to assign, right? In these two places, which place I can go and create a NAT? Both public and private. Okay, so I will go and create a NAT here.
Public subnet.
So route to table, I'll go and create a route to table 2. What is route table 2? All the 10, if you type any series which is under 10, this server should communicate here, this server should communicate here. I'll go and create server number 3 here, this server communicate here. All these things locally it should connect it. But when you type google.com, facebook.com, amazon.com, any other thing, where it has to go?
NAT.
That is the difference between public subnet and private subnet. Public subnet will go to IGW because it is already having internet. Private subnet will go to the NAT, and NAT is created in which subnet? Public subnet. Write it down. All are very, 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 very important. Is it clear, guys? Which one? Which is securing the server? You can create some databases in the private subnet so that external people cannot directly connect it here. They cannot connect it because it's only private. This servers, you can make it like a website, your own website. So any person can go and hit this website, and this server can only communicate to this server because internally it can communicate it, like database and everything. So these servers are sensitive data, so that any hacker cannot directly hit this one because they are only assigned with what IP address? Private IP address. So that is the reason they securely did it. Hope you got it. What is public subnet? What is private subnet? Any questions anyone has? If you have any confusions, please raise the alarm. No need to worry, I can explain twice also. So public subnet, sir. Why VPC, sir? You remember, right? In 2006, AWS is a public cloud. 2007, people started hating. Why? Because it is only, what is that? Public. Array, I want to make it private, secure. I want to make it. Why are you exposing all my servers? Don't expose it. Array, no, I'm public cloud. Then what they introduce? Then they introduce, what is that? VPC, virtual private cloud. In virtual private cloud, it can support, what is that? Public and privatization. I don't want to expose it. Don't want to expose it, create it here. Array, I want to expose to the entire world. Go and create it here. All these things segregation. And this one, how to travel? Route table. How this one will travel? Route table. You will go and provide it properly. You design it, then it will go into that area. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions? I have a last topic to go. That I will go and that topic will be completed, and tomorrow is the last day for our VPC. VPC, we should go and create it. Okay. Now, if I go for like this one, what is the advantage actually? So I get more security. Okay. So what are the security layers which we have it in VPC? To protect from hackers, I don't want this guy to connect to my system. I want only this guy to connect it. How do I come up with those kind of things? Is it clear, right? So that is the reason why you have a concept called as security. So what kind of security you have it? Write it down. It's very easy, sir, to understand security. To understand security, it is very, very, very easy. So write it down. There are two types of security you have. To understand security, you need to understand in-orbit mall. Everyone visited in-orbit mall? Mall, any mall. Okay,
Yes.
if you understood that mall kind of capability, you understood security. Let is very simple, sir. Let us take an example. I don't know how many visited Hyderabad in-orbit mall, but I'm just taking an example. This is a mall. Who can enter the mall? Can anyone tell me? Who can enter the mall?
Everyone who want to
Everyone.
shop.
So keep it in your mind. I'm not making any fun. Whatever I teach, that is correlated to the security. Who can enter the mall? Everyone can enter the mall. Okay. But you can enter the mall, he can enter the mall, I can enter the mall, everyone enter the mall. Before you enter a mall, you have a common, what is that? Security. So what is this security guy will do? He will do a baseline security. He'll go and check it out. Do you have any knife, gun or anything, or you bring any food or anything? He will go and check it out. If you don't have anything, everyone in the world can go inside. Okay, it's a baseline security. So I will go here. He will go and do a small checks and everything. Array, you are good. You can go. Now I can go here. I can go here. I can go for second floor. I can go for third floor. I can go to another shop. Yes or no?
Yes.
But I cannot go to fifth floor. Why, sir? In fifth floor, there is something else. What is that?
Theater.
Very good. You have a movie theater. Yes or no? In the fifth floor, you have a movie theater. When I try to enter it, there is one more security present here. Yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Here, what is here? Who can enter here? Everyone.
Only
Now tell me, who can enter here?
who is
Only no one in the world can enter here. Only the person who is having ticket can enter. Yes or no? This is a security. We have it in VPC. Did you understood this one? So I have a normal security in the front to enter it. I can go and everywhere. But if you want to enter certain area, movie, you are not allowed. You need to have a ticket. So the rule gets changes. Everyone not allowed. Only the people who are having a tickets are allowed. Yes or no? Same thing
Yes.
happens in AWS. So please write it down. Very, very important. When you talk about a security, there are two types of security you have it. Same thing, sir. I'm writing a same diagram. This is any kind of a, what is that? What is that? Subnet. What are the types of subnets we have? Public and private, both the subnets, any subnet, this rule security are same. If you have a subnet, inside subnet, what do you have? There are two types of subnets are there. Inside, what do you have inside subnet?
Public
Servers you have, right? So
yeah.
let us take an example. I will go for server number 1 here. Okay. Now let us take an example. This is a 10.0.0.4 IP address. Very good. There is a laptop. You have your own laptop. And think about it. This one is also assigned with public IP address 11.1.1.1. Is it public IP address means unique in the world? Yes. Anyone can connect it if it is public IP address. You are present in Hyderabad. You type basically 11.1.1.1. And where are you? What is your ISP IP address? Your ISP IP address is 23.1.1.1. Yes or no? So 11.1.1. This server is 11.1.1.1. So the request will try to go inside your network. Any subnet, there is one security here. Write it down. What is that? In front of a subnet, any subnet, in front of a subnet, you have something called as NACL, Network Access Control List. Network access control list. What is the purpose of NACL? Write it down. It is a protection layer for a subnet. To protect subnet, it is present. So what is, let me write it down here. NACL. What is that? It is a security for which layer, sir?
Subnet.
Subnet. In environment mall, by default, you have a gate, first gate. Who is allowed to go inside? Everyone. Even in NACL, this is the first point. NACL also, by default, it will not stop anyone. By default, 0.0.0.0 by 0. What is the meaning of 0.0.0 by 0? Everyone. Everyone by default rule says what is that? What is that? By default, NACL, when you create an NACL and attach to a subnet, NACL will say, "Arey man, by default, everyone in the world is allowed." So, what is NACL? It is a security layer. It is a security layer for your subnet. Is it clear, right? It's a security layer for your subnet. Very good, sir. I am happy, sir. Very good, sir. Okay, now very good. Okay, so by default it will allow. So the particular person, write it down the third point, which I'll explain you in next 5 minutes. It is stateless. What is this stateless? We'll talk about that one. Write it down, stateless. So what happens right now? I am present in Hyderabad. 23.1.1.1 is my ISP IP address. I am typing 11.1.1.1. The request will go here. What is the properties of NACL? What is the second point? By default, allow anything. I'll go here. Now I'm going here. Yes or no? In front of a security, you have another thing. Please write it down. That is you have security group. By what is a security group? This is security for which layer, sir?
Subnet.
No.
Yes, sir. Server.
Server level. In front of a server, basically this security is there. So that's the first point. Second point, by default, who can go to movie theater, sir?
Having tickets.
What is that? By default, it will come up and say none of the people should come. By default, it will say none of the people is not coming. Only the people who are allowed to come, those things can come. By default, security group says, I will not allow any person in the world. By default security. Only the person who are allowed, you mention only those things will be allowed. Like you have a security group, sir, you will write it in security group. You should come up and specify. Like for your example, you should come up and specify anyone is coming from 23.1.1.1. What should I do? When you mention it, can you tell me this person who is coming, can he go inside? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Because he is coming from what IP address? 23. What is your name, sir? Sudarshan. Now Sudarshan is present here. Sudarshan is present in Vijayawada. He is trying to hit the system, but his ISP IP address is 21.1.1.1. He is typing 11.1.1.1. So what happens? It will go here. It will go here. Is it Sudarshan? Will it allow?
No.
Yes or no? No.
No.
Why? In the security group, what did you mention?
23
Only
IP
if anyone is coming from 23.1.1.1, allow it. Rest of the things by default, what is that? It is deny. Sudarshan tried to come up, it will say, Sudarshan, you are coming from 21, I will not allow. Is it clear, right? It's a security layer. By default, it will deny, and it is stateful. Now, what is this stateful? I'll explain you. Very, 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 very important. Hope you understood. There are two layers security which are present in our VPC. One is in front of a subnet, NACL. NACL by defaults allow anything. Think about like this one, sir. Who is allowed to go inside in-orbit mall? Everyone are allowed. But think about like this one. This guy goes with AK-47. What will happen? Not allowed. No, they'll kick you and they'll keep it in blacklist. Yes or no? So I am going in a with an AK-47 to in-orbit mall. In the first layer, they'll go and check it out and they say, man, this guy is bringing AK-47. They will take me, call police station, take my photo and keep it in a blacklist. I cannot never go to in-orbit mall. Same thing you can do it with NACLA. Let us take an example. Sudarshan IP address is 21.1.1.1. Later point you realize Sudarshan is a hacker. What you can do in NACL only by default it is allowing everyone. I can add another rule. If anyone is coming with 21.1.1.1, deny it. So Sudarshan tried to communicate here, it will not go inside. He'll stop here only. Those things also can be done in where is that? NACL. It is the front gate of your subnet. If you deny here, you cannot go inside here. But by default, it is what? Allowing everyone. So the request will go inside here. It is going into the server. Server, you have a rule security group. Security group is server level. By default, it will not allow any person you mention it, only those people are allowed. Now, what is the meaning of stateless and stateful? Important, sir. Is it clear? We have 7 minutes. So good, very good. So what is the meaning of stateless and stateful? Now, can you tell me if you want to enter my class, if you want to enter my class, what is the mandatory thing where they are doing? They are asking an ID card. If you don't have ID card, they are allowing you. No, right? Okay, very good. You are coming into the classroom. Yes or no? I kept my mobile here. I am teaching. Sudarshan slowly takes my mobile. Just for your example, sir. Sudarshan takes the mobiles, keep it in his pocket. So 7 o'clock batch is completed. 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. You people go away. I go for it. After 5 minutes, I'll go and check it out. My mobile is not there. Right? Now the question comes into picture is, who has taken my mobile? How do I track it? So actually 7 o'clock people, there are 14 people registered in the classroom. But how many came? 7 or 8 came, right? How do I know it? So there is no track. You people are coming, showing me the card. That person is seeing the card. Please allow. You come here. You go. Where did I written anywhere? Sudarshan came. This guy came. She came. Did I written anything? That is called as stateless. Means I'm not maintaining who is coming, who is going. 23.1.1 came. 21.1.1 came. Who is coming? Who is trying to hit one? I'm not maintaining any session. Who is coming and say, I'll go and check it out. Who's the rule matching? Ah, you go, man. Array, rule matching, you go. I'm not having any trace. Who is coming? Who is going? That is, what is that? Stateless. What is stateful? Security group. Now tell me, you people are coming? They'll people ask you, ID, show me your ID card. You show your ID card. Then they will write it in a book. Hey, 1181 came at 8710. This is the name Sudarshan. Sign it off. Now, if I lost my mobile, who came to the class in registry? I can check it out, right? That is called as stateful. What is meant by stateful? Any request is coming and hitting me, I will write it down. Who is that guy? When he came, what is that he want? Everything I'll write it down so that I have a track of what is happening. That is called as stateful. This is stateful and this is stateless. Very important, sir, especially in security world. Got it, sir? What is meant by stateful and stateless? Maintaining the information, writing the information. Maintain. You go to the gym. I think it's the best example is you go to the gym, right? Gym, they will ask you, please enter your name, phone number, sign the number when you check in, and when you check out also sign it. They will go and mention it, right? Those kind of things is nothing but stateful. So we are done, sir. We have done our complete VPC is almost completed. Only thing we need to go and create our VPC, which we will do it tomorrow. Is it clear, right? Which we will do it tomorrow. I have one more thing to go. 5 minutes. Don't ask me any questions. You will not get any idea until I go and complete 40 days of training. Write it down. Write it down. Just write it down. There is, write it down this one. You in AWS you have something called as elastic IP address. Simple, sir. What is public IP address? Nothing but public IP address is a public IP address only. What is elastic IP address? Elastic IP address is also a public IP address. Actually, it is free of cost. This one is also free of cost, but conditions apply. Third point, what is the major difference between public IP address and private IP address? Can you mute your systems, guys? Okay, what is the difference? A public IP address is that's it. So write it down. That's it. Don't ask me anything. You have public IP address, private IP address. You have elastic IP address. Got it, sir? Anyone has any questions? So we are done with the VPC. We are done with the VPC. Hope you created your AWS account. Please you create your AWS account. So, sir, are we completed? Yes, sir, we completed. So what are the things we completed? Let's log in. When you go to the VPC, did we learn all the required concepts, sir? Yes, sir. So what is this? What is this? VPC. What is this? How many types of subnets you have? Public subnet and what is this? Route table.
Route table.
Okay. Then what is 1, 2, and 3? What is this one? IGW. Write it down, this one. Please write it down. Ingress only internet gateway is for IPv6. Internet gateway is for IPv4. For IPv6, ingress only gateway. Write it down. Ingress only internet gateway is for IPv6. Okay. Then do you remember what is this? Dynamic host configuration protocol. AWS by default has that one. What is this? Elastic IP address just now I provided. What is this? What is this? NAT. What is this? What are the two types of security you have? NACL and what is that? Security group. Is it clear? So let us dive. Let us create our VPC tomorrow. Tomorrow we will create our own VPC. So tomorrow VPC we should end it. And VPC creation is 1 second. I click on create VPC. It will create VPC in 1 second. What it will go and create? What are the topics we told? Everything gets created. Automatically it will go and create. Is it clear, guys? Fine. Okay. Anyone has any questions? Okay. So let us don't miss tomorrow's class, which is a creation part of this class. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.